This is Vince McMahon of the WWF. And if you love a good cage match, you're going to love Opie and Anthony on 1027 WNEW.
And now there's no good guys either. It's just varying degrees of bad guys.
Bad guys.
They got, of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm going to open up a can of whoop ass on you. He's always telling Vince McMahon, the head of the WWF, who now feels he's got to be involved in wrestling. Right. He used to be the guy behind the scenes. He's in the ring now every time.
Yeah.
And all the wrestlers flip him the bird.
Right.
Like Stone Cold, how about I put my foot in your ass? And then he flips him the bird. So when Vince, who is the head of a multi-million, probably billion-dollar organization, walks out of the ring, he's got to walk up this little ramp where 8, 9, and 10-year-old children are flipping him the bird. Just like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I want to be like Stone Cold. F you, Mom. Boom, hit him in the face with a chair.
Right.
Then they hit people with chairs.
Yeah.
Right over the head.
Well, wrestling is getting out of hand, because now Jay Leno is getting involved in one of these pay-per-views.
Well, that's absolutely correct. They call me the Chin is what they call me. I do a move, it's like an elbow slam, but it's with my chin. Did you see him? He had Hulk Hogan and Dennis Rodman.
Right, and the Milkman.
Oh, my God.
It's just getting out of hand. Did the Jay Leno one already happen?
Yes, I put the clef of my chin over my opponent, and I choked him with my big chin. I don't know what he was doing.
The chin move.
The chin move.
Very nice.
Embarrassing.
Very nice.
Okay, terrific.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm going to open up a can of whoop ass. And the guy shaves his head. Yeah, he shaved his head just like Stone Cold.
Yeah, that's what Stone Cold wants to see, how much of a loser you are.
You think you're like Stone Cold? You're not going to be like Stone Cold when I open up a can of whoop ass. All right, Stone Cold, great. What do you do? You think... I love the wrestling because you just can't picture these guys walking around like this 24 hours a day.
Can I just bring up this one thing? We did this thing.
I see this in Maxim.
Stage advice from the WWF.
Yeah, you talked to, who was that?
We talked to Rocky Maivia.
The Rock.
Right? We asked them serious questions. This month,
I love this.
In recent months, the security of Asia has been undermined by India and Pakistan, both of which have conducted successful nuclear weapons tests. The U.S. has issued strong statements of disapproval, and other nations have condemned the two countries. How should the U.S. and its allies handle the situation?
Well, what did The Rock say?
Give it
the only nuclear weapons that these two countries have to worry about are The Rock's 22-inch nuclear guns being wrapped around their necks. Yeah. If this nonsense continues, then the people's champ, The Rock, will team with President Clinton in the squared circle. A pile driver to Pakistan, a suplex to India. Turn out the lights. The party's over if you smell what The Rock is cooking. That's great.
Okay, terrific.
Jesse the Body.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
Wait a minute.
The United States. And the Constitution.
The guy doing the inauguration sounds like Butthead. Did you hear? I do solemnly swear. Did you hear us? Listen to him.
Yeah, let's listen to him.
And the Constitution of the State of Minnesota.
Of the state of
faithfully discharge.
That I will
faithfully discharge the duties of the office of governor.
Duty.
The duties of the office of governor of the state of Minnesota. Of the state of Minnesota. To the best of my judgment.
Jesse the Body kicks ass.
And ability. So help me God. So help me God. Congratulations, Governor.
You're like the governor now or something? Who's that guy?
He sounds like a grown-up butthead.
And anyone trying to take my governor belt away is going to get their ass kicked.
It's the wrestler. There he is.
Stone Cold.
We're Stone Cold for president.
I'm going to open up a can of whoop ass on you, McMahon.
What happened to wrestling? It has gotten completely out of hand.
Now it's really out of hand. Let me bring up a little letter here in USA Today. This person, Paul Fuller from Satellite Beach, Florida, little upset. Children of all ages are influenced by the barrage of television programming. They watch these wrestlers as heroes, as my 11-year-old son does. Recently, there has been a disconcerting turn of events brought about by McMahon, owner of WWF. He's been watching Raw and the War Zone, And he seems to think sex, exploitation of women, and sadomasochism and domination are going crazy in wrestling. If you've watched the WWF wrestling lately, the guy's right. It's insane. I saw these two girls were wrestling one day on their Monday night show, which I believe is live. And her boob came out, this one black girl, and just a big boob hanging, and they weren't even trying to cover it up. It was just out there. And all the wrestlers now flip the bird at each other. Yeah. And you could just see them and barely hear them using the F word, like F you and you know, ass this. It's out of control.
I miss the old days of wrestling with Bruno Sammartino and Chief J Strongbow and
Chief J Strongbow.
The time like Chief J Strongbow was tag teaming with Bruno, and out of nowhere he hits Bruno over the head with a chair.
Oh my God! But wait, they were partners.
They were partners. Like, oh, what happened now? Wait, Chief J Strongbow was a good guy, and now he's a bad guy. As an 11-year-old kid, I couldn't really figure it out, man. What the heck's going on here?
They don't really have good guys and bad guys in. One guy comes out, the Godfather, and he's a pimp. And he brings out hoes. He goes, "You like my hoes?" I mean, and it's just, the black community should be outraged by this guy. He's some black guy wearing this pimp hat, and he's like, "Would you all like some of my hoes? I got me some fine hoes here today." And it's like a nightly event. This guy does this, and he brings these scantily clad chicks up there, and he gives them away to people. His hoes. Yeah, so this person has a little problem with that. Very good. I don't have a problem with it. I just want to see people beat each other over the head.
Okay, terrific.
Are you a wrestling fan?
Have you ever watched it?
No.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Too white trash for you?
Too exciting for me.
Okay. It's like crack, though. The more you don't want to do it, you just find yourself sitting there watching USA. I wish I didn't have to do this. Losing my family over it.
Well, Raw is War was on last night.
Yeah, we watched, of course. Yeah. And I don't know. A lot of hype went into the Inferno match. The end of the show last night.
You want to explain the Inferno match to the people that don't watch wrestling?
Well, Opie, they wrestle in the ring, but on the border, the outskirts of the ring, there's a fire coming out of this pipe and gas jets. And whenever they slam someone down, the flames get as high as the ropes.
Correct.
But for the most part, they're just kind of sitting there like a pilot light on an oven. And they kind of, they're kind of pushing.
And what was the object of the Inferno match?
Well, as Vince McMahon describes it in all of his glory and eloquence,
Kane and The Undertaker are going in the ring in an Inferno match. The first man to come out in flames is the loser.
Yeah, so if you're on fire, you lose.
They said somebody will be barbecuing.
Yeah.
Turns out...
if you're squeamish... please leave the building.
It turns out they had some of that fire gel on Kane's foot.
Yeah.
And his foot was on fire for about 10 seconds.
Yeah, but he lost. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, my God.
A lot of hype, not much of a payoff. But it was cool. It doesn't make you miss the Fuji days with the dust. And
oh, man, when Fuji would throw the salt in the people's eyes.
Right.
My God, don't the refs know he's going to do that? Do you watch him? I mean, he's coming to the side of the ring. He's going to throw the salt in the guy's eyes. Ref, pat him down. For God's sake.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. Who was the guy with the broken thumb for years?
Ernie Ladd.
Ernie Ladd, he's going to jab him in the eye with the thumb.
Ernie Ladd had a thumb injury for 10 years in WWF.
Right.
And he would gouge people's eyes out.
Yeah. Well, D'Lo Brown had the chest protector on for 2 years, and he'd slam people with that.
Yeah, he finally took that off, I noticed, last night.
Yes, but I saw that.
Now, getting back to this Inferno death match they had last night with the flames. Yeah. The WWF, it's becoming funny because they're just inventing these new type of matches. Like
a ladder match.
Like a ladder match.
Yeah.
And no matter what Vince McMahon suggests as a match, the wrestlers do it.
Oh, they'll buy it.
You know?
I think it's ridiculous.
I want Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock at WrestleMania 15 in an anal rape match. First person to be anally raped loses the match. What do you say, guys? Let me tell you something, Vince. I'm going to take The Rock and bend him over and plow it home. And that's the bottom line because Stone Cold says so.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm going to give him the real Stone Cold Stunner when I bend The Rock over.
Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
You'll be smelling what The Rock's cooking on a part of my anatomy. WrestleMania 15, a fisting match. First person to get their elbow buried up to their elbow.
They'll agree to anything.
Yeah, they'll agree to it.
Oh, it's so...
All right, Vince. Mankind and The Rock. In a Hummer match.
Oh. Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, my God. It's so true. Come on.
It is so true.
They'll go for anything these days. They don't care.
I want Luna and Sable in a rug-chewing match.
All right. I'm getting pay-per-view for that one.
All right.
Okay, terrific.
I'm going to watch Raw's War tonight then, I guess.
I was bummed last night. I went to watch Sunday Night Heat there, and wrestling, and their satellite was down. So they just had audio going for the first half hour, and they replayed last week's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I might have missed, a
fisting match. Anal intruder match.
I was talking to some really big wrestling fans.
Yeah.
They thought that was really, really funny last week.
Well, they'll go for anything now.
Yeah, well, the deal is, it was last week on Raw.
Yeah.
Raw's War. They had Kane and who was...
Kane and The Undertaker.
Oh, that's right, The Undertaker.
Will head to the ring in an Inferno match.
And the match was,
Vince.
The person loses when he's lit on fire.
Engulfed in flames.
And Vince McMahon, he just suggests these matches, and the wrestlers, no matter what, will agree to anything.
Yeah.
So we took it a step further and said, can you imagine if Vince McMahon said, Rock, Stone Cold, you guys are going to be in a fisting match.
An anal rape match.
Right.
All right, Vince, you bring him on. I'll whoop his ass.
Doesn't anyone else find that a little strange that they'll admit that, they'll agree to anything?
That is weird.
All right, in the ring is going to be Ken Shamrock and Mankind in a Hummer match. The loser must give a Hummer to the opponent. All right, Vince. Have a nice day. Look, I'll give a Hummer to Shamrock if I lose. Sable, you will face Luna in a rug chewer match.
Get Vince McMahon in. Like I said, just get him in charge of it. Write it off for what it is. Sports entertainment.
Vince McMahon, it's sports entertainment.
You could have Lewis and Holyfield, the rematch on Raw's War tonight.
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Kane, and The Rock in a 4-man cage anal fisting match with the gloves on. Special guest referee, Mankind. Kane and Mankind, I want you in the ring during tonight's Raw for an anal intrusion match.
Yeah, whatever Vince says goes.
It just seems that way, doesn't it? Like no wrestler goes, what, are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
A file cabinet over the head match.
One where Stone Cold Steve Austin from WWF Wrestling was on.
He loves Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And they got in like a little goof play wrestling thing because Stone Cold can like snap him in half,
You heard him.
Yeah, he spun around and hit him in the nose with his arm accidentally, and Regis grabbed his nose like, ah! And Stone Cold's like, hey, what's the matter? I get you in the snout? I thought that was great, in the snout.
Opened up a can of whoop ass on you, Regis Philbin. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Stone Cold. Well, that's like just like my tragedy that I lived through in my life. Hey, what do you say? I kick your ass.
The guy would have loved Stone Cold to kick his ass.
I'm gonna drop you now. Give you the stunner.
Yeah.
I'm gonna